Hi folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Today we're going to be working on the 9.5 horse Johnson Seahorse. It's a 1972. We're going to see what's going on with it. The person I bought it from had said in their messaging that there was a recent overhaul, only had about an hour on the overhaul. I took a brief look underneath the hood just to see what I could see after I got it home. And if it was overhauled, I'm not sure much was touched. Other than some wiring, if they call putting in some of the wrong wiring as an overhaul, then that's not what I call an overhaul. An overhaul is when you go through the entire outboard. Pistons, rings, cranks, bearing, the whole nine. You had it apart in pieces and put it back together and you ran it, and that's an overhaul when you've updated things. So we'll see what this one really has going on inside. Well, that's a good sign. That's some of the cleanest oil I've seen so far.
Never mind.
Maybe it has been serviced recently. But we still got to dive in deeper. Now we're going to go ahead and pull this pump housing off. Now, I haven't worked on many boat motors. Just recently got into this. But I've been doing mechanics type stuff my whole life, but this is the first one I ran into that has straight blade screws, straight blade machine screws in it, and they seem to come out okay so far. We'll have to go on to the website I've been going to is marineengine.com. I'm not sponsored by them, but I have had real good luck in getting parts for these old outboards through them. This looks kind of funny. This is kind of rubbery up here. It looks like it should seal more. Oh, there we go. That's an interesting looking little part that goes there. Well, it's got a little bit of roughness in there. I might be able to polish up a little bit, but I think it's probably okay. Obviously, the impeller needs replaced, and normally these impellers are sticking straight out. That one's got a permanent curl to it. I'm gonna wipe this off real quick. I think this plate here comes off too. It should. Looks like it's moving. So you got to pull this little pin out first. Little tiny guy, don't lose that. Then this will lift off. Pretty much nothing under it. Looks like a replaceable piece. This has basically no wear on it, so I'm guessing I'll probably be able to clean this up and put it back together with a new impeller. Like I said, I'll see what this one's all about. Seems like that must fit up in there. Don't look too bad. Actually, it looks pretty good and supple yet, so I might be able to reuse that. Normally I like to replace all rubber parts, but this one might get a pass. If this is truly what somebody has done to it recently, or went through it recently, it's probably not in too bad a shape if they did all this, some of the wear out items. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen here so far. Now the shaft here seems to run pretty true, but this prop has taken a beating. Look at this here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's basically got negative. It's coming around negative there. That one's not so much. That one's not so much. That one's been like bent backwards. So somebody would be driving it or using this thing and possibly feeling some vibration and not understand why. But that would be exactly it. Plus, they would realize they've lost some top end too. This would still move the boat, but it wouldn't move it very well. Let's pull this prop off and look and see if there's any fishing line trapped underneath there. Looks like she's good and clean. Even though this isn't a spline, I will put grease back on here when I put it back together, just because I want it to not ever get corroded and seized up. But yeah, that's going to definitely need a new prop. I'll have to see what I can find for that. All right. So that's done with the inspection of the bottom end of the 72 Johnson here. Well, now that I've got the bottom end taken apart and Liking what we see. Boy, look at this old antique. Woo! It is amazing the difference a few years make. The 15 horse versus the 9.5. Both Johnsons, both Seahorses. Let's pull them plugs, see what we got. This is running a traditional plug. It's not the Permagap plug. I shouldn't say traditional because it's Permagap's been around for a long time too. Now this one has evidence of being run recently. Spark plugs are a little wetter than I like to see, but let's pull it over and see what we got. That feels strong, especially just one cylinder. Let's see what it looks like. Huh, feels strong, but it ain't strong. 50? Wonder if we're gonna have the same thing we have with the old 15 horse. They're the same. Both 50. I wonder if things are a little dry, even though the plugs looked wet. I'm gonna do the same mystery oil trick down the cylinders here. Just to give her a little soaking. Now, as you can see there, when I put that air to it, you can see how it fogged out down here. That's blowing through, backwards through some stuff, getting that mystery oil kind of all up in there. We'll see what that does. We'll let that soak for a day. All right, we put the Marvel's mystery oil in there. Now we're gonna check compression again, see what it does. Only about 60. That was about 70 to 75. Not awesome. Do some research, see what's going on with it. This one may need a little more than just the bottom end. Good news. Had some parts show up for the old 1972. I did go ahead and order new housing, new bottom plate, impeller, and there's some moly lube applied to upper drive shaft spline. Nice. We can do that. So we got our new parts. Let's see what's a new rubber piece for this upper part here. A little bag of hardware here. What's in the bag of hardware? Mystery. Hey, new screws. These are also slotted machine screws. That's interesting that it came with new seals. They don't obviously go there. I think these were seals that were supposed to go. It's like a seal that would replace that one there. But that one there, the oil was tight, so I'm gonna hang on to it. I'll just label these as what they are. No sense in putting those in. And this also came with a paper gasket, which did not come off the old one. Yeah, the old one was just a plate. That's how she lines up right there. We got the new impeller. Almost thought I lost that pin that I said don't lose. Just like that. Pumping water. Now what I'll do is I'll put grease inside here. I think I could do this one just like I do all the other ones. Put it on the right direction first, just like that. I put grease on it, I should be able to spin the shaft and this thing will just fall right into place. Tell you, I was only about 3 or 4 outboards in when I learned this little trick. And it has saved me so much time. It's a tight fit, what it is. But I think it'll fit. Yeah, there it goes. I'll put this old piece back on. And we'll put our new little rubber piece back in here. I just like to put a little bit of grease on this. Help snap that right in there. Just pinch it in. Get it pushed down to those little knobs stick out. There we go. And we'll put the provided new screws back in it. Now we can put the bottom end of this back together. There we go. This baby will be ready to pump some water. I'll put a little grease up top here. Put a little O-ring on it. Back on it there. A little grease on the spline. Be generous, doesn't hurt a thing. I'm going to show you a little something here. This is the impeller that came out of it. And this is on, supposedly this motor had been gone through. It's only been ran an hour. But look at that. Can you see that crack on that impeller? That wasn't going to run for very much longer. And even though they spent a lot of time on the top end possibly, look at that. They could very easily have smoked this motor by not replacing the impeller, the cheapest part of the whole thing. Okay, now we're back in. We'll go ahead and put the old prop on for now. Put a little grease on this old shaft here. Stick the cross pin in. Put the old prop back in place. I do have a new one ordered because this one has been beat to tarnation. Now you guys might ask, Michael, why did you spend money on that water pump when you don't even know if the thing runs yet? Well, because if I got a good gearbox, that's worth money by itself. And it's got a new water pump on it. You know, that just brings up the value of that gearbox. If this whole top end happened to be junk and not in working order, then we would just part it out. But the bottom end, we got to set. We got to check this. I did check for spark. We got good spark. You know, I did check compression earlier in the video, and I noticed that it was only running about 65 to 70 pounds, and both cylinders were balanced. I did some research, and I read with some blogs where some guy says mine runs 60, 65, purrs like a kitten, does everything it's supposed to do. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I'm also concerned about my compression tester. My compression tester is old, so I did order a new one. This thing pulls too hard for it not to have good compression. It feels like there should be a lot more than 60 pounds there. I pulled other motors or outboards that have a little more compression. This pulls just as hard as they do. So it could be part of the gear reduction in the pull starter, but I don't feel so that's the case. I'm ready to drop this in the water and see if she's going to pop. Because I got fire. The carburetor, if it's been touched recently, it should be in good shape. And then we've also got the lower unit on, ready to pump some water. We got some fresh 50-to-1 fuel, ready to go. Right there, see, 50-to-1, ready to plug up. I don't know why I hooked it up, because I got to unhook it to go put it in the test tank. It's test tank time, folks. Well, I hope that make you seasick there. It's test tank time. Let's see if this thing will pump some water, and let's see if it runs. It only pump water if it's running, so let's fire it up and see what's going on with the rest of it. All right, let's see what's going to happen with this old 9.5 horse 1972 Johnson outboard. New water pump. New lower gear oil. Check the spark. Plugs look good. Compression, like I said, checked at like 60 to 70-ish. I actually am questioning my compression tester. I actually ordered a new one because it just has too much compression in the feel of it in the pull for it not to be working. So let's, I got the choke lever off right now. Let's put the choke on. Let's give the bulb a squeeze or two. There we go, we're up. We're in guess that's the start position. Let's give it a whirl, see what happens. Well, that wasn't bad for the first pull. Let's take the choke off here. Here we go. Applewood smoke. Two-stroke smoke. Oh yeah. Look at that thing pump the water. That's the way we do it. Well, so far I'm pretty pleased with how this little pumpkin runs. I just had it out in the water tank. I let it sit outside. I had it running for about an hour today. On and off, up and down, in and out of gear. I also let it sit from probably about 2 o'clock till now it's 9 o'clock. About 7 hours it sat out there in the water, hanging in the test tank. And I went out there, squeezed the primer bulb. I should have videoed it and I didn't. Squeezed the primer bulb till it got hard, and then one pull, boom, she's off to the races and running. In this case, looks can be a little deceiving because things look a little tough on the inside. I think we're going to get in here and scrub and get rid of some of this corrosion. But the darn thing just runs like a top. So the only thing the things I've got to get done on it is I got a new prop ordered for it. I'm waiting for that to show up, and I'll get over here and show you this real quick. So I'm missing I got the choke lever that goes back to here and activates this choke, which pushes this way and this way. It snaps right in here, so it goes boop, close, or open. Now I started this without it even being choked just a minute ago. It popped right off. The other thing I'm missing is the knob for the mixture screw. So I have no way of turning that from the outside here. So, and I'm going to take that. I got to get a knob, a choke lever. Find one of those is kind of difficult to find one complete. Even if I have one that is a white knob on it, I don't care. And then I want to replace these the stop button wire. I want to replace those because these are not the right wire, not the right connection. That's just going to give us problems down the road. But everything else looks good. The pull cord, this pull cord looks relatively new. I mean, it looks a little dirty on here, but you look back on the spool here, this is relatively new looking cord overall. So we're going to clean this up and fix these couple little things. But I am pleased as punch with how this thing turned out. Stay tuned. We're going to get some more parts coming and we'll finish this thing off. Okay, I'm going to show you a little something here. This choke lever, or choke rod, the handle, the tip was broke off. And I'm having a heck of a time finding one of these. There was plenty of them. I shouldn't say plenty of them. Some on sale on eBay and whatnot, but everybody's sold out. Nobody has any. Hard to come by. And the only thing that's wrong with it is the knob tips broke off. But I got an idea. You can see it goes just below flush when it's in, but it comes all the way out when it's off or on. So I found off my Frankenstein motor I'm working on, the choke lever that came off of it. I'm pretty sure that I can actually cut this off right here, drill into here, and epoxy, like JB weld that into place so it can't come off. And then I got a threaded knob I can put on here with a jam nut, and I can have a choke knob, and it even has the right symbol on the front. So let's give that a whirl and see if I can make this work. First things first, I'm going to grind that so that's flat on the end instead of broken off at a jagged angle. Now I'm going to attempt to try to drill a hole down the center of this. There, I can tell when I just hit that other rod that's in there. It'll stop drilling, which is fine. I think that gives me enough material to put this on. Now I haven't drilled that to a proper size yet. I just trying to get a hole started.
I need him right away. I think he's gone out.
Now that we got the hole drilled and this cut off, this will fit in there like that. Let's do a test fit. Well, if that pushed all the way back, and this right here being cut the length I've got it, when I slip it into that hole, that's just about perfect. Cool part now is I can go ahead and glue that in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough this up so it's got a lot of notches in it and stuff, so the glue has something to bite to, or the epoxy has something to bite to. Now we got us a little marine JB weld here. So I'll mix that up. Put it down in here. We'll put the knob down in there and just work it back and forth, and it should force that excess out of there is the game plan. Hear the bubbles popping. All right, here, get rid of any excess around the edges. We'll let that set up. And we got ourselves a brand new knob for this guy. Pretty much in position. We'll turn that knob so it's correct orientation. We'll let that set up. Then that should fix our choke handle. That's about from From what I've seen, anywhere from a $25 to $37 fix right there, folks. Let's catch you up here on what we've got completed on this old outboard. We've got brand new clear fuel line. We put a new black fuel line in because the other one was it was rubbed a crazy amount along here for whatever reason. But we test run it as you saw in the tank, and it runs beautifully. We're gonna take it out in the old Nymph and get her out there and run it and see what it'll do on the water now. We did install a kill switch, and this is a better kill switch that I found. Now I'm only going to show you this once. It's not going to be in the link down below, but this is part number 786108 from Napa. It's a perfect fit for a kill switch for this thing. Looks factory, almost 100%. It's got 2 screws on the back side here. You put a couple of eyelets on, as you can see I've done here. And you put your couple of screws through those eyelets. And I've got some heat shrink tubing coming around, and I got some not quick connects, but some connectors here that I connected to the original wiring. That's a good way to fix up your kill switch. The other new thing we've got on here, I don't know if I talked about it before, I don't think I did, but I got a brand new prop we're going to put on there, or that I did put on there. We're going to give that a whirl. So yeah, this old girl is ready to rock and roll now. And as you can see here, we got it perched on the old 1972 Nymph. And we're going to see how well it performs today. Let's put the cover back on here. But as you can see, it's a clean, other than it has a few scuff marks. The condition of the paint and everything on the lower part is in really good shape. So I'm excited to get this out on the water. We got us about 4 gallons of fuel in the tank here. We're going to give this baby a run in and see how she performs. See you on the lake.
I still have 36%. I got like 6-7 more minutes of fly time.
That cloud is way inefficient reverse. It already feels a little better. We'll see. I tipped it out like 2 more notches. This one's easy. Push and turn, and it has a little gear. It just walks backwards. Beautiful day to be out on the lake, folks. We're out here with this little 9.5 horse 1972 Johnson Seahorse. I think it's a Seahorse. It's definitely an ocean going vessel. Not really. But it's running really good for us today. We got everything running like a top. She starts easy. Pop her into gear. Sit there and troll along at an idle at 1.5 miles an hour, pretty easy. Nice little motor. Acceleration is like, you see that? See that? About to snap my neck. Top speed's about 8 miles an hour. But you'll run it, you'll do it all day long, day and night. And that's what the Nymph likes. all, Mr. Johnson. What do you think of the water today? It was a good time. I agree. Well, we had a great time today out there this morning out there on the lake. It was a little bit rough out there, a little windy, but it wasn't too bad. You see in the videos we did, it was this little motor. It's a workhorse. It's not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination. This thing will sit there and hold 7 to 8 miles an hour with probably the boat itself, boat, motor, trailer, and battery and trolling motor and all that stuff weighs right at 600 pounds. 600 to 620 going across the scale. And then you throw about 550 pounds of American flesh in there between the two of us, my son and I, and it's going to work a little bit. And this thing here, like I said, it's out there. We ran it for 2 hours, and we ran it wide open throttle. We had trolling speed for a while. We stopped and started and did everything in between. It just did a beautiful job. But I tell you what, these things are just, if you want to throw a motor on the back of a boat and you want to go fishing somewhere, it'll get you there. 7 to 8 miles an hour, it'll get you there. And it'll get you back reliably over and over and over again, unless something unforeseen crazy happens with it. Yeah, the old Nymph, this is probably I put a 6-horse motor on there. I don't think I did any video on the 6-horse motor. It was a 6-horse Evinrude Fisherman, and it would push the boat at 6 miles an hour. And it was kind of funny because it was 6 miles an hour with my son and I in it, and it was 6 miles an hour with just me in it. Adjusted the trim and all that kind of fun stuff, still 6 miles an hour. Same way with this old Johnson here, 8 miles an hour. And me in it by myself, 8. With him in it, 8. That's all I do. It's just not one of those high performance outboards, but it is a performing outboard. So I would encourage you to, depending on what you're fishing with, where you're fishing, who you're fishing with, if you just need a good, dependable, reliable old motor, these old Johnsons ain't too bad. They start easy, they run good, and got a couple of neat features on them. So, folks, I really enjoyed having you along on this video. We're going to be doing some other videos coming up here. I've got, we did in the front of the boat, we did on the old Sea Nymph, we did what do you want to call it, the casting deck. We did that this past weekend, and that was a good run. It probably took, if I was to work on it start to finish and letting things dry, because I did some work in between, so I was able to let some poly resins dry and stuff like that. It's a job that takes you a good part of a day. So basically I did it Saturday. We took the boat out today with it on there. But I'm going to show you that video here in a little while. Probably going to post this video on the old 9.5 horse first, then we'll do that. Then we'll post that video. And then I got to work on the Jeep. Got a severe gas leak in the gas tank, on top of the gas tank draining all over the ground. And I don't know what's going on because it's been less than 2 years with that new fuel pump in there, and something let go. But that's for another video yet. No lack for content around here with fixing things, so we'll keep fixing things and keep moving forward. You guys get out there and have some fun, enjoy life. You might be asking why I'm sitting down versus standing up doing my outro here. It's because I wanted to sit next to this guy. Made me real proud today. You guys get out there and have some fun. Enjoy life. This is Michael. You can watch the rest of the outro. I've got a lot of footage coming up. We saw some really cool pelicans today out on the lake. A whole bunch of pelicans. Got some great drone footage. So please enjoy the drone footage after this and the music. And just relax. Take another sip of that beer, take another bite of that pizza, and watch the rest of the footage. See what's going on in the lake from up in the sky. This is Michael, folks. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see, and I'm out.